when I thought back about it, I was like, it's like this man already knew what I had going on, and he already knew what to say. What? And for me, that is how it feels when you encounter an angel encounter. I look back, homeboy gone. Okay, he came from nowhere, and when I look back, he's gone. After we finished having a conversation, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here every morning." Went back another morning, he ain't there, right? So it's just like I've had that situation happen over and over. What's going on? I'm AnokhiTheOne, back with another video, and in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the 3 most recent angel encounters that I've had. I say most recent because I have had a lot of angel encounters in my life. And I've also broke down how to identify when you've had a angel encounter. So I'm gonna tell y'all 3 of mine, and then I'll give you 2 extras from this book. Right? It's called Angels All Around Us. It's one of the first books that I read that really broke down like different people's stories of encountering angels, right? And so, as y'all know, I've been on this journey. I've opened myself up to be more open to the angelic realm and receiving guidance, and it's just been magical. When I tell you it's been magical, it's just been fire. Like, it's unfortunate that people are, it's weird because people are so open to the idea that there are demonic spirits and there's demons walking in people and all this other stuff, but they're very close-minded when it comes to angels. It's just kind of weird. Like, it's like people want to acknowledge angels, but at the same time, they are skeptical about angels, even though it's all up and through these holy rollers I'm talking about. It's all up and through the Bible. It's all up and through just about every spiritual practice or religion, but people don't want to focus on that, right? They just want to focus on evil. There ain't nothing but the devil. They just want to focus on, they have more faith in demons, fallen angels, evil doers than they have in their spirit army, their spiritual military, right? And so I'm trying to switch that back, okay? Because I know from in my experience, my life, that when I flipped that on its head and I started to focus solely on my angels and gratitude, even in situations where it seems like it could be negative, I'm knowing, okay, I know that no matter what, I know how to be guided. I know how to receive guidance and how to ask for guidance, and that I will be guided through. And all of this is a part of my journey to get to where I am. Maybe there's a character trait that I need to develop for this next part of my journey. And I'm seeing my angels as trainers, right? They're helping me to train. God, I see God as my coach, and he has his assistant coaches, right, on the field with me, helping guide me and train me into becoming the person that I need to be for the next part of my journey. You feel me? You feel me? In these encounters, it'll be made clear that that's really how it feels like. Like, it really feels like that. So the first encounter that I want to talk about is the furthest back. It was about like 2019. And I was pissed off. I went to the park, and I was upset because this guy, okay, who I entrusted with my business idea because I got a recommendation, and that this guy could possibly be my mentor. And I had done business plan competition after business plan competition and applied for loans and grants and just was doing the most. And people always want to, oh, Black women have all that you have. People, I used to have people all the time tell me, it's easier, white men, it's easier for you to get a loan or a grant than I am because you're all these minorities. The reality is these people still have to, even though they have it out there are people gatekeeping the money. They have to approve it. They have to say, okay, I want you to win. Okay, I want you to have it. That wasn't happening for me. And so I had to start grassroots. and my teacher loved my idea, and it's very much innovative. It's still far advanced than what these people are trying to do or able to do. Okay. But I showed this guy my blueprint, and 2 to 3 years later, he's watching me start grassroots, because I showed it to him. He's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. He wasn't on this at all. Oh, it's a white man. Oh yeah, it's a great idea. You know, you may just have to start from grassroots, from the bottom up. So this man watched me. He had a studio, and whatever the case may be. Watch me grassroots grind with nothing. The money I'm putting on the side from working jobs and different things like that, and just hustling. Okay, from the ground up, finally getting a little something. And then he wants to have the grand opening, gets funded for my business idea. This white man gets a check and puts it up to his ear like it's a stack of money. Just straight up appropriation, just all over the place. Damn mess. Okay. Gets funded for my business idea. Okay. And has a grand opening in the same city for my business idea. It had nothing but black people up in my business idea. My business, bitch. My blueprint. As if it's an innovative business that he came up with. Okay. I was pissed. I was pissed. I was so damn pissed. And I went to the park and I was upset. And this is the same park that I had gotten the business idea for like 5 or 6 years prior. So this has been a long time coming that I've been working on this from grassroots. No help, no, nothing. Okay. And so I go to that park. I sit in the same spot that I had when I came up with the idea in the first place. And I'm writing. I'm in my journal. I'm pissed. And all of a sudden this guy, and my most recent encounters have all been black men. So this guy comes up talking to me. Comes out of nowhere. Okay, he seemed like he could be homeless. Who knows? I don't know. A lot of times they seem like they could be homeless. Sometimes not. He seemed like he could have been homeless. I'm writing. He asked me something. I don't know. He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. I'm writing. Ask me something else. What are you writing? What are you thinking about? You seem like you got a lot on your mind. I do. I'm writing. I'm just like, look, sir, I'm concentrated. I got to come up with a plan. I got things I got to do. Okay. And so he kept on. And then I was just like, okay, forget it. This guy is not going to let me write. So I'll just have the conversation with the guy. Okay. Since you want to talk. Okay. And so we get to talking, and I just ended up telling him, I don't know how we get on the topic. Clearly he knew what was going on. I didn't know how he was getting on the topic, but I ended up telling him about it. Ended up telling him about the situation. And I was upset. And it's like he just listened. And we're just going back and forth. He's telling me, people can try to steal your idea. People can try to steal your whatever you have going on, but they can't duplicate it because it's yours. You're the creator. He starts talking about Whitney Houston. He starts talking about Prince. He starts talking about Michael Jackson. I'm like, you know what? You so right. And he started giving like just solutions and guidance and just reassuring me and different things. He even used different scriptures and stuff like that. And we even talked about like sexuality. It was crazy. And I had a lot going on at the time. So we ended up talking about like struggles being spiritual and also being gay, like being lesbian and feeling like, I'm easy prey or easy for people to like it's hard to start a business. This is all my mindset. Hard to start a business as a gay lesbian, as a black woman, period. But then on top of that, you're lesbian too, and you're doing a business that's male dominated and mostly black men that are getting the services because it's music production, songwriting, home recording, making beats, stuff like that. So I'm just like, and this damn white man that stole my damn business, got all my customers. Okay, not all my customers, but got nothing but black people in there working for him and paying for my shit. I was pissed. And we were just having the conversation. We talked for hours. Okay. And by the end of it, I felt a sense of peace and kept reassuring me, like, look, this is what's for you is for you. And just kept, it was like ministering to me. And by the end of it, I felt a lot lighter. And then I ended up walking home. And when I thought back about it, I was like, this man already knew what I had going on, and he already knew what to say. What? And for me, that is how it feels when you encounter an angel encounter. I look back, homeboy gone. Okay, he came from nowhere, and when I look back, he's gone. After we finished having a conversation, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here every morning." Went back another morning, he ain't there, right? So it's just like, I've had that situation happen over and over. And then another encounter. And a lot of times, and I have a whole video about the different signs to know when it's likely an angel encounter or some kind of high vibrational being. It just ain't a regular old person. You know what I'm saying? Regular old people don't be just, hey, let's talk. Come on. They just don't be like that. Right? So the next encounter, I'm trying to remember. The next one was when I got headbutted in the face. Okay. I already had a lot going on at the time. Okay. I had stuff back to back. I'm just like, what is going on? Okay. And at the time, I had been working hard. This is a lot. This was last year. And it was just a combination of stuff. I was just like, really? Okay. And I had been working really hard for this company, Black owned. And the face of it is this Black man, social media influencer, stuff like that. And I was starting to feel like I wasn't valued. Right? I wasn't valued, and I'm doing way more than what I signed up for, right? And I felt like I was getting distant from my purpose because there was so much going on with the corona, with, just people complying and falling into the trap when it comes to Black Lives Matter and all this different type of stuff. And I'm just like, I'm feeling pulled in two different directions because in this arena, this is very pro-Black, which, I can be, I'm not gonna say I can be pro-Black. I love my people. I very much do. If I can help with solutions and all kinds of different things, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like when I'm having to deal with drama or I'm feeling like I'm devalued or I'm swept under the rug, even though I'm killing the game, because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? What in business, you know what I'm saying? So, and then on the other hand, I'm building a platform and there's also people that are waiting for this truth that I have when it comes to, like, I've made documentaries about the corona and all kinds of stuff. And so you have all this stuff going on. And then I go to the park, I'm playing basketball and I'm D'ing this guy up. I have been winning game after game with the team that I picked up. Amity Park goes down. Okay. I warmed up, so I was hitting my threes. And I was clamping homeboy down. They had a whole crowd, about 20, 30 people, 20, 30 men. I'm the only girl, period. 20, 30 men crowded around. And they're bucking him up because I'm clamping him down. He's used to flying back past guys and all this other stuff, and he's not able to do that. And the guy is bucking him up, talking about how he getting clamped, which he was. And we're playing half court, 4-on-4. And this guy decides to headbutt me in the face. Like, full-blown head. I'm not talking about, we just ran into full-blown headbutt me in the face. He's not going at a speed. I'm not going at a speed. I'm barely just walking up to him to play defense, and he headbutts me in the face. And I have this, I think I blacked out, really. And I go out to the side. I have no idea that my face is like this, okay? and I had this big cut across it, just gushing blood. I didn't realize until I touched my face, and it's just blood. I go to the bathroom, blood everywhere. Okay. And the creepy thing is just pin drop silent. Pin drop silent. There is nothing but men. I'm the only, what? Nobody has anything to say? The only thing I did hear, man, you better get up. There ain't nothing, did it? Anybody else have been ready to fight? Nah, I almost blacked out. And I'm just like, wow. Okay. So I go to the bathroom and I'm bleeding. I'm like, ain't this some shit? Okay. Going through enough. Time on my face. Come back to get my stuff so I can go. Guy come over talking about, I didn't do that on purpose, my bad, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And the other guy's, are you okay? Obviously, I'm not okay. I have a golf ball on my face. Because you cannot control your ego enough to not headbutt me in the face because you're getting clamped up. I have this big old thing on my face, almost passed out. Okay, it's ridiculous. So I get in the car, I drive home. Well, I drive to CVS to get, that's a whole thing. But basically, I drive home, get home, and I'm at peace with it. I'm like, we're playing basketball, whatever. This is my first black eye. I boxed and all this other stuff. Never got a black eye. It's my first black eye. I'm at peace. Okay, I'm not even tripping. Okay, because I don't know this guy. He crazy. He got his own issues. I just go home, not take it personal. But what I do want, I asked God. I was like, I do not want to have a big old scar, because it was looking like I'm about to be Scarface with a just big old thing way over here, just huge. I asked to not have a big old scar, if nothing else. I don't know what guidance you have what this is for, but I just don't want to have a big old gash. Okay. And so I started to feel messages that it's part of my purpose to speak more to my audience is largely black men. And I hadn't been in my purpose because of some of the stuff I said before. I'm an easy target. I feel like I'm an easy target. I'm a lesbian. I'm a black woman. Who are you? What are you to talk to black men about? Whatever. Even though that's the people who I relate to the most. I say this several times, but whatever. Right. I feel guided to talk about it because that was ridiculous. What was going on? I know if my dad was still here, okay, for one, that would have never happened. That would have never happened. Okay, he would have had enough sense to not even think about to do that. Okay, but if he would have, homeboy wouldn't have had no head. His head would have been off. He would have had 2 black eyes. Like if I it would have been 3. I don't know where the other his third eye would have been blacked out. Okay, so just period. And it's just like, it's unfortunate that I shouldn't even have to have my dad there. I shouldn't even have to have nobody. There should just be a level of respect, a level of, that's just something you just don't do. But I got to thinking, I'm like, this man might be beating on this girl. Like I can't expect him to treat me any kind of way. He looked like he just came out. He literally did. Like there's a look. He looked like he could have just came out of jail. So I'm just like, I'm not going to take that personal. But I did feel that I need to speak more about this. And if I don't speak more to my audience, really, and my feelings and thoughts, my honest whatever, because of my fears about being judged or whatever, then things like this is going to keep happening because it's a part of my path, right? And so I asked to not have this scar on my face. Okay, then I went to sleep. Woke up early in the morning. I tried to get up early in the morning because I didn't feel like going to the grocery store with a whole bunch of people looking like a battered woman. Okay. But I had to have that experience. That was an experience that I probably would not naturally have because I don't date men. And if a girl put her hands on me, like, we're toe to toe. It's not even that big a deal. It's toe to toe. Okay. So I go to the store and I'm having this whole experience of what it would feel like just going to the store and potentially have been abused by some guy or domestic violence, because people don't want to talk about it. People want to act like it's a myth. People want to act like single fatherhood is a myth. You know what I'm saying? So an abuse is a myth, physical, but I have this Band-Aid. I didn't realize it at the time till I got back home that it was, you could see the blood through the Band-Aid. It was just terrible. It was just terrible. So I'm walking through feeling all these, like, these people probably think I got beat up by some guy and all kinds of different things. Just all this stuff going through my head. What if somebody come up to me asking me and try to put somebody in jail, all this stuff. And it never crossed my mind that I could have pressed charges on this guy or whatever. Like, you just don't even think about that, right? All this stuff going through my head. And I get to the self-checkout, and I see this basketball. Now, mind you, remember, all this started with basketball. Playing basketball, me, by myself, nothing but a bunch of guys, headbutt because the homeboy getting clamped up. Now, I asked my angels, my guys, I just don't want to have a scar. Okay, I'm at the self-checkout. I see this fresh, brand new basketball, leather. I'm checking it out because I love basketballs, especially a fresh, brand new basketball. Look like it's like it has enough inflation to really be playing like, this is things I'll be thinking about. And I'm like, it's here by itself. They don't even have no groceries nowhere around here. Like, and they normally don't be having basketballs. They don't have basketball. They don't even sell basketballs here. Somebody must have left this. If they left this, then maybe I could ask them, you know, this ain't for nobody. I could have it. But then all of a sudden I'm having all these thoughts. And then this big, tall basketball looking guy, another black guy. Why? Because this is the part. Whatever my mission is, the angels that I encounter, the entity that I encounter embody that thing. Okay, that archetype, whatever, my purpose, right? So, second time, he came in the form of a black man. So, he looks at me, he picks up the basketball, and I'm like, God dang it, dog. He looks at me, he's like, you know what? I'm like, what? And this is just so random. You know what? You should really get some coconut oil for that. I'm like, really? Like, normally, the regular people at the grocery store, they were trying not to make eye contact. And this also shows how disconnected people are from each other. It's kind of like, but I get it because you don't want to get into an awkward situation and feel like you need to ask. And maybe I bust out crying, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it is kind of weird. It's weird, but at the same time, it's unfortunate that people are so disconnected and so separate from other people who may be in need. Like, what if I really got battered and I went to the grocery store for outreach with this big blood pocket underneath my, Band-Aid, hoping that somebody would ask me so I could be like, look, you're trying to kill me, right? Like, it's unfortunate. But this seemed really out of sorts for him to just be so abrupt, so straight up, and just be like, that big ass scar thing you got on your cross your face, you should get some coconut oil for that. I was just like, okay. And then I kept doing my groceries or whatever, and then it's like he just disappeared. And then I was like, I'm gonna go get that coconut oil. So I went and got the coconut oil, and it was not until I came back. It wasn't until I purchased it, went to the car, and I sat in the car. I'm Googling health benefits of coconut oil. And it's breaking down how it's good for scars. It rebuilds the collagen in your skin if you have a deep wound so you don't get scarred. I'm just like, and then I remember, I was like, I just prayed to be guided on whatever I need to do so I don't have this big scar. And this guy just came in there and then he just disappeared. And I'm just like, whoa. Right? And I'm like, another angel encounter. That's fire. I'm just like, well, thank you. Right? And by him coming in the form of a black man, I think it was meant for him to come in the form of a black man too, because that just relates to the message that all the messages that I was getting. You need to talk more about, talk more to your audience, talk more to black men and have these conversations, just open dialogue. Cause a lot of times people don't have a voice and people don't have the same perspective as you. Okay. People are like pandering to women or they're pandering to men. There needs to be a more balanced approach. You have something, you have insight. Okay. And so like where that could have made me be like, you know what, forget black men. This guy just came up, bust me in my eye. What do I need to talk to y'all for? Forget y'all. Now I wasn't feeling like that, but I feel like by like the fact that he came through as a basketball player, and I'm focused on this basketball, he came through as a big basketball player. And even though there was an individual who headbutted me and bust over my eye, there was another individual, angelic individual, who came and gave me guidance on how to heal that so I don't have this big old scar. And y'all probably can't even really see it anymore. Still there a little bit, but yeah. So that was the second and most recent angel encounter, and the most recent, which was not long ago, maybe I think it was last week, another black man. Why? Because the angels they're working with me. Okay, they're working with me. And so the most recent one, I was, and it's funny because it's like every time I'll be fired up when I be, like when they come through for whatever reason. Is either I ask for guidance on something specific, or I just be fired up, right? And this time I was just fired up. I'm trying to remember what I was fired up on. I don't know, but I've been taking the guidance, and I have been talking more and having conversations. I posted the video about single mother syndrome, and the video with Umar Johnson about how gay people aren't black, basically by default, and all these different things. And also my basketball video. And so I think that's what I was that's what I was fired up about. Somebody commented on my basketball video, because like I whooped old dude, 6'2" guy, just whooped him. It was 24 to like 10. He gonna bet me $5, $100, my $5 and his $100, and he gonna beat me. He gave me an 8-point head start, going 1s and 2s, blew homeboy out of the water. And what do people say? Oh man, he let you in. So I'm I'm fired up. I'm at Starbucks. I'm fired up outside. And this guy walks up to me and he's like, "Are you single?" I'm like, "No." I'm fired up. So I go back to being fired up. And then it's like he disappeared out of my just world, and I go back to being fired up. This happens often. This is how it actually happens over and over again. And then he come back again asking me something. He's like, "Do you mind if I sit with you and have a conversation?" It's another black man. I'm like, yeah. I'm fired up. He's saying little stuff, and I'm like, and he like, "You know what, I'll leave you to it, and I'll see you later." And I was like, okay, he's this adamant 9 times out of 10. Now at this point now I'm like, okay, 9 times out of 10 he may be, this may be another angel encounter. I have been having a lot, okay, and with the past few he kind of fit the bill, right? Let's see what you're talking about. Okay. And so we get to talking or whatever, and I ended up telling him about the basketball game, because that's what I was fired up about. And I let him watch the basketball game and the whole thing. And at the end of the day, he said, he let you in. I'm like, "Oh, I can't do this. I'm tired of this guy." Right? He's like, ain't no way. I'm like, well, hey, ain't nobody about to bet $100. And this is how comfortable I am, because with these angel encounters, a lot of times they'll come in archetypes or whatever the case may be that you're already comfortable with, and they make you feel comfortable, right? It doesn't feel crazy, right? And so especially when you're open to, and you've had these encounters over and over again, and then you're just like, okay, well, whatever, like, let's just talk, because you here, and let's talk. And we ended up talking for hours, and it was interesting because he talked a lot. He said a lot of the things that a lot of red pill people, a lot of black guys nowadays say, with a little twist. And it's like we were having a conversation, And it was like he was refining the points that I have. Like there's a video that I'm working on about the WNBA, right? And a lot of guys are all up in there about WNBA, right? So we end up having that conversation. And it's like I'm able to bounce it off, like back and forth off of him, and like different content ideas, because it's like he is it was crazy because he represented the guy, like the way a lot of guys think and a lot of guys talk and different things like that. And I'm able to listen and hear and be able to bounce back and forth off of each other and have that conversation. So it's like, literally, it's like he was training me. He was training me on how to refine the ideas and really have this unbiased thought process that was also holding accountable, but also being sensitive to how a lot of guys are being trained and programmed right now through YouTube, through all kinds of books and stuff that people are guiding them to, and to be able to deliver the message in a way that they can consume, basically, right? It could be a good conversation. So it's like God sent me angels, different angels, to prepare me. So soon I'll probably be having interviews and different things like that with other guys. And so until then, I'm able to have this conversation. He's sending me people to have this conversation with, because I don't have as many guys in my circle like I once have to be able to just bounce this, conversations off all the time, right? And so, yeah, I feel like, again, it all goes into the purpose where I'm being guided, if I'm asking for something, or if I'm fired up. Basically it's just it all aligns with my purpose. So, and after my cousin passed, it was like I was kind of inching still. I was like slowly, maybe throw a little something out there. But after my cousin passed, it was just like it was made blatantly clear, this is something that you need to talk about, because I was able to have these conversations with my cousin. A lot of conversations, and a lot of guys need to have this conversation, like have these conversations that I'm having, talk it through with somebody who is patient in that way. When I would talk to my cousin, when I'm telling you, I would be beating a dead horse. We would have to go through over and over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, I felt like he was receiving. He was getting it. He got it. He was getting it, right? And it's just like, I feel like that is a strong part of my purpose, right? And it's unfortunate that he passed in the way that he passed, but I feel a very strong presence that he is pulling me and pushing me, and he's like right there. Literally right there. He's like present, very present in my life and supporting this, because when I first started my YouTube channel, when I'm talking about first, I'm talking about back in the day, 15, I'm getting emotional. Oh, Lord. 15, 16 years ago. I haven't been talking about my cousin because I get like this, but I definitely feel his presence. Oh, no, I'm getting emotional. But yeah, I feel his presence.